Welcome back everyone to the fields of Perthshire. An incredibly windy day today. I've got a special muffler over the top of my microphone in the hope that I can produce some half decent footage. We're out with the mighty Deus II, thanks to Regton for providing me with this great machine, and I'm on the 11-inch coil. Sorry I've not been out sooner with some videos. I have just been working so hard recently I've not been able to keep up. I did however have my first ever day out beach detecting. Well, I say day out, it was about an hour and a half one evening and it was too windy to film. I'd forgotten my microphone, but I did find over £7 in an hour and a half, and it was incredibly good fun. So I'll be doing that again sometime soon, except next time I'll remember to bring my microphone with me. So we're back on the field that produced that beautiful Charles I Scottish silver hammered coin between 1625 and 1649. It was a, what was it again? Was it a 30 pence? 40 pence? Something like that. It was silver and it had a thistle on it, and it's the first time I've ever found one. So fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. Let's see how we get on. I failed to say that I am on the deep HC, so deep high conductivity mode, and I've barely walked about 6 feet and (82, 64, 05) 79, 86, 85. I think that's going to be a big bit of lead, a big bit of iron, not lead. But I might give it a go anyway, just to make sure. Well, unfortunately, I was correct. About 9 inches down, here we go. It is a big hitch pin off a tractor trailer, tractor plough combo. Barely 2 minutes in, we've got our second signal. 86, 87. I don't think it's very deep. Let's see what we get. As expected, it wasn't that deep. We're out in the first, 3 inches or so. There we go there. Bit of lead, I think. It is. Looks like maybe a musket ball. It is a musket ball, I think. It's a bit flat, it's a bit pancaked, but it's an ancient relic. Oh, nearly dropped it. So, definitely looks like a musket ball to me, from a big flintlock style musket, big long barrel. And first firearms came to Scotland around about 1385, and by the middle of the 1400s, Scotland had gone firearm crazy, thanks partly to King James, who would later be blown up by one of his own cannons while laying siege to the English-held Roxburgh Castle in the borders of Scotland. More than likely that's probably from the 1617 into the beginning of the 1800s, but still, it's a find. I've got my third signal in as many minutes. 74, 75. Doesn't sound too bad. Well worth a go, I think. Okay, so we're out. But where is it? And what is it? Doesn't sound like it was very deep. Is that it? Nope, that's a stone. What's that? Another bit of lead. Nope, I think that was another stone. Now, whatever it is, I think it's quite shallow. Oh. Oh. It is a bit of lead, I think. What's that? That is it. Whatever it is, might be a lead seal. It is. It is a lead seal. J-A-Y-E. Jake, J-A-K-E. Maybe. What have we got on this side? We have got something and Sun Liverpool. I know you're all going to be shouting at the camera. Right, I'm going to need to give it a little rub-a-dub off camera and come back to you. We have got it. I can see what you were probably all shouting at the camera, which is T-A-T-E, Tate. Tate, and on this side we have got Henry Tate and Sons of Liverpool. This is a bag seal from Sugar. You'll probably know the name Tate and Lyle, probably more so if you live in the UK. But Henry Tate, Martin found one of these in another field not that long ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And Henry Tate is one of the founding fathers of what we now call Tate and Lyle. He was a grocer in Liverpool in the 1800s, and after his death, sometime about 1920, his son, if I remember rightly, sold the business off or merged it with a company that was called Lyle and Son, becoming Tate and Lyle, sugar importers. So there you go, that probably dates to sometime about 1820 till about 1880, I'm guessing, give or take. But if you know, then let me know in the comments below. A nice little relic, 2 bits of lead and a pin so far. Not bad for the first 10 minutes. I'm definitely picking up a hell of a lot more signals out of this field, considering how extensively we covered this with 4 machines last year. I mean, I must have walked 40 or 50 metres at the most, and we've got diggable signal number 4. It's coming in pretty consistent 82, which is coin territory, so let's see what we get. Okay, we're still in the hole. Gonna have to take this one down a little deeper. I don't have a free hand, so I'll be back in a sec. We're out in that last spadeful, and do you see what I see? The telltale sign of lead. So much for a coin. I think we've got a hem button. I thought lead seal, but I think that looks like 2 holes. And that is 2 holes. That is 2 holes. It's got a kind of crimped edge on it. But that is a button for the pleats of a lady's skirt. I'm sure someone told me on a previous one that I found that they can be used for other things, but I forget. But anyway, it's probably Victorian in era, I'm reckoning, so maybe 1830s through to the beginning of the 1900s. And these would be stitched into the pleats of a lady's skirt, lady's dress, to stop it blowing up on such a day as today. I could have done with one of these for my kilt the other day when I was on the Isle of Skye. Now, I always tell yous, check the hole. So, we check the hole, nothing. We check the pile, nothing. We check the clod, and that is another signal. Maybe another lead button. There's a worm. Let's get, oh, still well stuck in there. In fact, what's that? Is it a coin? Might be a coin, you know. Ah, I think it's another. It's a washer. It's got an hole in it. Is it a coin? Might be some writing on that actually. It could be a defaced coin, which is against the law. Surely not. What does that say? E-R-E? Ere? Ireland? Ireland don't put holes in their coins, surely. Or is it a CR? Charles Rex? Surely not. Right, going to need to give this a wee off-camera rub up and see what we've got. I think I have struck Danish treasure. maybe Viking Danish treasure. We have got the letters C and R for, I don't know, Charles, Christopher, Christoph, CR for somebody Rex, somebody beginning with a C. I can just make out the letters there, Denmark. And on the other side it says 25 ORE. Ore, Ore, 25 ore. Let's turn the pinpointer off. 25 ore. But I don't see a date. But I'm guessing it's not going to be 11th century Viking. No, can't see a date. Oh, wait a sec, what is that there? Zoom in. 30 1930. I think it is. I think it is 1930. And if anyone from Denmark watches in, I'd be interested to hear who the King of Denmark was in 1930. It's a coin, but it's a very unexpected kind of coin. But they all count. I think that's a first for me. Excellent. That right there is where I just got the Danish coin and the lead hem weight, and we've got an 82. I think we might have another relic, but I might have clipped it with the spade. Got a wee bit of pottery as well. Not particularly old though, it's got a white glaze on it, so probably only a couple of 100 years old. Anyway, see right here? Is that a spindle whorl? Is it, is it, is it? Nice little impression. And it's definitely lead, so it's the right material for a spindle whorl. But is it decorated? Or is it just a lead washer? See that wee chip out the side? I think that was me. Phew, I think we're okay. It's not a spindle whorl. I don't think it is anyway. It looks a little bit too modern. It looks like that's maybe a letter, an O, a C. I'm not sure, but it's quite corroded, whatever it is. It's kind of like a lead washer. It's kind of like a spindle whorl, but I think it's just some sort of crude lead washer. I'm on the same line and the signals keep on coming. Pretty solid 85, 86. So let's see what the mighty Deus II is going to find this time. I'm thinking maybe a cheeky wee coin. That would be nice. I think we might have another bit of lead. You see that white bit just right there? I think that is a signal. It's definitely in that clod. Because I scanned the detector. It is. It looks like we're on one of these lead discovery days today. Let's see what we've got. I think it might just be a wee chunk of lead. Oh, it's quite a big chunk of lead. What is that? What is that? That is a big bit of lead. It comes under the category of who knows. But the one thing that I do know is that it's lead. It's always a good sign when you're getting chunks of lead or bits of lead, because often it means, you know, post-medieval or even medieval activity. Because they used to use lead like we use plastic today. It was like used for everything and anything, from cutlery to bowls to water pipes to you name it. It was endless. Little did they know that they were poisoning themselves when they used it. But that is a hefty chunk of lead, and it could be old, but I don't know what it's for. Okay, we've got another one. 68, 69. Solid signal, but I don't know, something's telling me aluminium, but I might be wrong. Let's have a look and see. Well, I was wrong about aluminium. I've had a bit of a dig around. Look at this bits of iron here, and I thought to myself, it's going to be a big crusty bit of iron. But I think it's not. I think it's maybe a buckle. It's a buckle that might have had a bit of iron attached. It is. It's a little, I don't know, what do you call these? They're not D-buckles, but they're buckles. And that is a buckle. That is probably from the reins or the leather pieces of a horse. You can see where there's been a pin there, the wee notch. Pin's probably been iron. That's maybe what we can see in the soil. And I'm guessing that's going to probably date to sometime in the 18 into the early 1900s. I didn't film that one. It was coming in the 40s into the 50s, jumping to the 60s and then back to the 40s. And we've got ourselves a spoon, a teaspoon. And there's a mark on it just there, which I can't read. But I'm guessing the chances are it'll probably say Sheffield and EPNS, electroplate nickel silver, which was a technique that they developed to allow them to silver plate or make spoons look silver. It's been battered about a bit, and I'm guessing it's probably going to date to sometime in the 1850s to the 1950s. Okay, we've got another one. What have we been going for now? About an hour and 15 minutes, so quite busy for an hour and 15 minutes. This one's coming in at 63.64. I'm thinking a bit of lead again, but there's only one way to find out. Look at these big black skies that we've got overhead. That doesn't look good, does it? I think it's going to rain, but for now, so far so good. And this one, unfortunately, it looks like we've got another of these clips. We do. They're like a sort of, I don't know, stainlessy steel sort of irony mixture. And they come through as an okay-ish signal, but I think they're clips from old berry tunnels where they used to grow soft fruits underneath the berries. Oh well. Okay, we've got another one. That signal, that last one, the berry tunnel clip, assuming of course I'll leave that in, well, I'll probably have to now because I've mentioned it, was just there. And right here, we have a solid 83. And that sounds like either a coin, maybe even a silver coin, or a tin can, or aluminium, or aluminum, as some of you might know it. Only one way to find out. No need for a pinpointer, folks. We have got silver. The Deus II back on the silver coins. Looks quite modern. I think it might be George VI. Nice little imprint. You can actually see the reverse of the coin in the soil. Right, and there we go. We have got a sixpence of 1940. And we've got Fid Def Ind Imp, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India, 1940. And that means it has got to be George VI, the Queen's father. And there we go, Georgius V1 DG de Gratia, by the grace of God, Brit BR Omni Rex. So, George VI, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. And it's in pretty good nick. So, what else can I tell you about George VI? Well, George VI was, if you've seen the film with Colin Firth, the King's Speech. So he had a terrible stutter. And thanks to an Australian living in the UK called Lionel Lokes, he helped him with some modern techniques to cure, or certainly make his stutter far better. His brother famously quit as king because he wanted to run off with an American divorcee whose name always escapes me. I can never remember her name. I'm hoping we might have back-to-back coins. Well, technically not back-to-back because I found another 3 of those metal clips off berry tunnels, which I will omit from the video for your pleasure. And right here, we've got a solid 96, 97, doesn't sound quite so good the other way, but high numbers. Let's see what we get. We're down a hefty amount. I would say we're down about 8 to 9 inches. And unless I can find it with a probe, I'm going to have to enlarge the hole because this is a deep one. We're getting into deep tin can territory, I would say, but let's see what happens. Okay folks, I took out another spadeful and I think we've got an edge of something. See where that little bit of slate is? That's actually a bit of roofing slate. Maybe the remnants of an old building, but do you see, it's hard to see, in fact it's almost impossible to see, right there. Do you see that brown? See that there? And that is definitely it. I think, I don't know, what do I think? I think it could be a horse brass. Could it be a horse brass? Difficult to see, isn't it? See that? It's got that colour that brass goes, you know, it goes that brown colour sometimes. I'm knocking more mud in than I'm getting out. Right, whatever it is, not wanting to move yet. So I'm going to go off camera, I'm going to make the hole a little bit bigger and try and loosen it off gently. Okay, we have popped it. It just came out there when I dug out the edge of that hole and it looks like it's circular. It's deep, I mean we're down 10, maybe 11 inches. And I think it is, I think it's a horse brass. Looks like it's been gold gilded, whatever it is. It's more of a teardrop shape. Yeah, it's got some gold paint on it, or yellow paint, one or the other. It's probably got a loop at the top, or a hole at the top maybe. Right. Right, I'm going to have to go and give this a good clean out. I can't actually see anywhere where it would attach to anything. I was expecting there to be a hole there. But I think it's a horse brass. So decoration of a horse saddle. Probably like Victorian in date, but let's give it a wee rub up. Looks like there might be a bit of decoration on the front. It's maybe like an acorn or something like that, going by the shape. So let's give it a clean up off camera and see. Well folks, hold the front page, because it might not be Victorian, it could be older. And there is a hole, but it's not what I expected it. It's right in the middle, which doesn't seem to make much sense to me, but what do I know. Anyway, on the other side, looky looky. First of all, there's remnants of gold gilding you can see. And look at the shapes. Now that to me is a dog. Is that a dog? I think that's a dog. Or a hound. Then there's something else going on down here. And over here, look at that. Is that another hound? Or is that a fox? Or some other animal? What do you reckon to that? That is interesting. Or am I just seeing things? No, that has to be a dog. Could it be a lion? No, I think it's a dog. That is interesting. Can't say I've had something like this before. I think that is, that looks different. Maybe a boar, or maybe a fox, or a wolf. But that one definitely looks more dog-like, with a pointed nose. So the question is, how old is it and what is it? To me it looks almost like medieval, or even Viking sort of design or period, but You know what these Victorians were like? They were able to make lots of things that looked a lot older than they really were. So what do you think of that, folks? I think that could be an ancient relic of some description. Probably attached to leather, but maybe attached to wood. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, but I think that could be something quite interesting. And even better would be if it's got a bit of age to it. If this was back to the 14th or the 13th or even the 12th century, and it was medieval or it was Viking, I would be over the moon. So let me know in the comments below. Well done, Deus II. That must have been 10 to 11 inches deep. Came through like a solid signal. I think this might well be my last signal of the day. Time is ticking on. I've been going for just over 3 hours. And it's a solid 86. That has got to be a coin. I hope it's a coin. That would be a nice end to the day. But it's been a pretty great day so far, so a coin would top it off just nicely. Okay, it is in the clod and I can actually see it right there. It looks to me like a green coin. It is a coin. I can see a head. And it looks like it's facing to the right, which is unusual. Might be a wee George the Fifth. No, not George the Fifth. Edward the Seventh. I think it is Edward the Seventh. It's wee Teddy, and it's just starting to rain. So give me a second, and I will move around to get out the wind and out the rain. A good way to finish the day. It is indeed Edward the Seventh, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. And there he is with his big Roman nose, Roman all over his face. And on the back, Britannia seated, with the trident and the helmet and 1 penny, 1906. So poor old Eddie, or Teddy, he waited 63 years, I think it was, for his mother, Queen Victoria, to shuffle off the planet. He had a bit of a fraught relationship with her. And then he became king, but he was a playboy princess and a playboy king, and it cost him dearly. He smoked something like 60 cigarettes and 20 cigars a day. He was pretty overweight later in life, and it took its toll on him, and he died in 1910. So he only got to rule for 9 years, having waited for over 60. But it's a coin, and it's a good end to the day. So a couple of coins, one of which was silver, and most intriguingly, this thing here, which is drying out more all the time. You've got a little hound or dog at the bottom. This side, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe that's supposed to be a pig or a boar. It's got quite a square head and it looks like it's got a little curly tail. So maybe some sort of hunting scene, but you can see it's definitely been gold gilded at some point. So what do you reckon? I'm plumbing more now to that it may actually be Victorian. But let me know in the comments, folks. And another great day with the XP DEUS II. So thank you for watching. If you're not already a follower or subscribed, then please give me a follow, give me a subscribe, turn on the notifications, and it'd be great to hear where you're from and a little bit about you. Okay, I'll see you all soon. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next dig. Thanks for watching.